Deuteronomy chapter 14. You are the children of the Lord your God. Do not cut yourselves or shave the front of your head for the dead. For you are a people holy to the Lord your God. Out of all the peoples of the face of the earth, the Lord has chosen you to be his treasured possession. Do not eat any detestable thing. These are the animals you must eat: the ox, the sheep, the goat, the deer, the gazelle, the roe deer, the wild goat, the ibex, the antelope, and the mountain sheep. You may eat any animal that has a divided hoof and that chews the cud. However, of those that chews the cud or that have a divided hoof, you may not eat the camel, the ear, the irex. Although they chew the cud, they do not have a divided hoof. They are ceremonially unclean for you. The pig is also unclean. Although it has a divided hoof, it does not chew the cud. You are not to eat their meat or touch their carcasses. Of all the creatures living in the water, you may eat any that have fins and scales, but anything that does not have fins and scales, you may not eat, for you it is unclean. You may eat any clean bird, but this you may not eat: the eagle, vulture, the black vulture, the red kite, the black kite, and any kind of falcon, and any kind of raven, the horned owl, the screech owl, the gull, and any kind of hawk, the little owl, the great owl, and white owl, the desert owl, the osprey, the cormorant, the stork, and the kind of heron, the opie, and the bat. All flying insects and swans are unclean to you. Do not eat them. But any winged creature that is clean, you may eat. Do not eat anything you find already dead. You may give it to the foreigners residing in your town. They may eat it. You may sell to a foreigner. But you are a people holy to God your Lord. Do not cook any young goat in its mother's milk. Be sure to set aside the tenth of all your field produce each year. Eat the tithe of your grain, new wine, and olive oil, and the firstborn of your earth, and the flock in the presence of the Lord your God, at the place he would choose as a dwelling for his name, so that you may learn to revere the Lord your God always. But if that place is still distant, and you have been blessed by the Lord your God, you cannot carry your tithe, because the place where the Lord will choose to put his name is so far away. They exchange your tithe for silver, and take the silver with you. Go to the place the Lord your God will choose. Use the silver to buy whatever you like: cattle, sheep, wine, or other fermented drink, and anything you wish. Then you and your household shall eat there in the presence of the Lord your God, and rejoice. And do not neglect the Levites living in your town, for they have no allotment or inheritance of their own. At the end of every 3 years, bring all the tithes of that year's produce and store it in your towns, so that all the Levites who have no allotment or inheritance of their own, and the foreigners and the fatherless, and the widows who live in your towns may come and eat and be satisfied, and so that the Lord your God may bless you in all the works of your hands. At the end of every 7 years, you must cancel debts. This is how it is to be done. Every creditor shall cancel any loan they have made to a fellow Israelite. They shall not require payment from anyone among their own people, because the Lord's time for canceling debt has been proclaimed. You may require payment from a foreigner, but you must cancel any debt your fellow Israelite owes you. However, there need be no poor people among you, for in the land the Lord your God is giving you to possess as your inheritance, He will richly bless you. If only you fully obey the Lord your God and be careful to follow all these commands I am giving you today. For the Lord your God will bless you as He has promised, and you will lend to many nations, but will borrow from none. You will rule over many nations, but none will rule over you. If anyone is poor among your fellow Israelites in any of the towns of the land the Lord your God is giving you, do not be hard-hearted or tight-fisted towards them. Rather, be open-handed and freely lend them whatever they need. Be careful not to harbor these wicked thoughts. The 7th year, the year for canceling debt, is near, so that you do not show ill will towards the needy among your fellow Israelites and give them nothing. They may then appeal to the Lord against you, and you will be found guilty of sin. Give generously to them, and do so without grumbling heart. Then because of this, the Lord your God will bless you in all your work, and in everything you put your hands to. There will be always poor people in the land. Therefore, I command you to be open-handed towards your fellow Israelites who are poor and needy in your land. If any of you people, Hebrew men or women, sell themselves to you and serve you for 6 years, in the 7th year you must let them go free, and you must release them. Do not send them away empty-handed. Supply them liberally from your flock, your threshing floor, and your wine press. Give to them as the Lord your God has blessed you. Remember, you were once slaves in Egypt, and the Lord your God redeemed you. That is why I give you this command today. But if your servant says to you, I do not want to leave you, because they love you and your family and are well off with you, then take an awl and push it through their earlobes to the door, that they will become your servant for life. Do the same for your female servant. Do not consider it a hardship to set your servant free, because the service to you these 6 years has been worth twice as much as that of a hired worker, and the Lord your God will bless you in everything you do. Set apart for the Lord your God every firstborn male of your herds and flocks. Do not put the firstborn of your cows to work. Do not shear the firstborn of your sheep. Each year you and your family are to eat them in the presence of the Lord your God, at this place He will choose. If an animal has a defect, is lame or blind, or has any serious flaw, you must not sacrifice it to the Lord your God. You are not to eat it in your own towns. Both the ceremonially unclean and the clean may eat it, as if it were a gazelle or deer. But you must not eat of the blood. Pour it out on the ground like water. Deuteronomy chapter 16. Observe the month of Aviv and celebrate the Passover of the Lord your God, because in the month of Aviv I brought you out of Egypt by night. Sacrifice as the Passover to the Lord your God an animal from your flock or herd at the place the Lord will choose as a dwelling place for His name. Do not eat it with bread made with yeast, but for 7 days eat unleavened bread, the bread of affliction, because you left Egypt in haste, so that all the days of your life you may remember the time of your departure in Egypt. Let no yeast be found in your possession in all your land for 7 days. Do not let any of the meat you sacrifice on the evening of the first day remain until morning. You must not sacrifice the Passover in any town the Lord your God gives you, except in the place He will choose as a dwelling for His name. There must you sacrifice the Passover in the evening when the sun goes down on the anniversary of your departure from Egypt. Roast it and eat it at the place the Lord your God will choose. Then in the morning return to your tents. For 6 days eat unleavened bread, and on the 7th day hold an assembly to the Lord your God, and do not work. Count off 7 days from the time you begin to put the sickle to the standing grain. Then celebrate the festival of weeks to the Lord your God by giving a free will offering in a proportion to the blessings the Lord your God has given you. And rejoice before the Lord your God at the place He will choose as a dwelling for His name. You, your sons and daughters, your female and male servants, the Levites in your town, and the foreigners, the fatherless, the widow living among you. Remember that you were slaves in Egypt, and follow carefully these decrees. Celebrate the festival of tabernacles for 7 days after you have gathered the produce of your threshing floor and your winepress. Be joyful at your festival, you, your sons and daughters, your male and female servants, and the Levites, the foreigners, the fatherless, the widow who live in your town. For 7 days, celebrate the festival to the Lord your God at the place the Lord will choose. For the Lord your God will bless you in all your harvest, and in all the works of your hands, and your joy will be complete. 3 times a year, all your men must appear before the Lord your God at that place He will choose. At the festival of the unleavened bread, the festival of weeks, and the festival of tabernacles, no one should appear before the Lord empty-handed. Each of you must bring a gift in proportion to the way the Lord your God has blessed. Appoint judges and officials for each of your tribes in every town the Lord your God is giving you, and they shall judge the people fairly. Do not pervert justice or show partiality. Do not accept a bribe, for a bribe blinds the eyes of the wise and twists the words of the innocent. Follow justice and justice alone, so that you may live and possess the land the Lord is giving you. Do not set up any wooden Asherah pole beside the altar you build to the Lord your God. Do not erect a sacred stone.
This is the soothing word of God. If you enjoyed today's reading, please like, subscribe, comment what you think, and share with your friends. I would like to see you tomorrow. The Bible continues tomorrow. Same time, same venue. God bless you.